Once again, so I am going to discuss module 6, and as you know, the module 6 is based on industrial robotics. Okay, so disclaimer: all the images and resources that have been used are under fair use policy. Images and links are produced only for the educational purpose and not for monetary benefit. Okay, so next in the contents I will discuss about the history, and then I will discuss about robot anatomy. Then I will this in bold colors point 3, 8 and 10 are written in the syllabus, so that will be discussed based on. Apart from that, these are the points I will also discuss. Okay, next this, so here is a person, his name is Karel Čapek. He was from Czechoslovakia, or that is presently Czech Republic. Capital is at Prague. So he was journalist, and he was also writing novels. Okay, some playbooks. So in particular, around 1920, he has written a book that is Rossum Universal Robot. That is the name of that book. So in that he has used the term robot. He got nomination for the literature 7 times, but he never received any Nobel Prize. Okay, so in that he has written a letter, and when uh, with a discussion with the Oxford Dictionary, he has mentioned that he was this name robot name was suggested by his brother Joseph Chapek, and he has suggested that robot T name. So what is the meaning of robot? First, to, then robota was used, and that means the forced worker, and from that we have got robot word. Okay, forced worker, it means you design something that obey your order. Okay, so he's a robot. This one is very popular. You see that is a play, when you search it on YouTube, you will find around 1.5 hours or around somewhere 2 hours play. That what happens in that play, that he designed a robot by using some chemical substance. Okay, so he has produced one robot, and then he produced many robots for the replace the human effort and human work. So what happens with the time, he keep on improving the uh, in the robot. Okay, after some times, when he got uh, perfection in that work, it means he perfected that robot, then that robot started disobeying. Okay, and then in that play RUR, that is Rossum Universal Robot, that robot went for killing the all the human lives. Okay, so because at the end the robot tends to generate their feelings, and they questions why they should be slave, why humans should give order to them, because over a time with the evolution, you can say with the advancement, they have got some logical and as well as emotional thinking, and that's why they started questioning. Okay, so that's where next is uh, this one start with the uh, Okay, so there are two popular scientists. They have who have worked uh, in this field. So first one is Cyril W. Kenward. He was from Britain, and okay, so he developed XYZ manipulator. Okay, then there is another scientist that is from George C. Devol. He contributed to important work in that. First one was he developed the magnetic recording electrical signal for playback. What does it mean? It means he developed that some device that can be recorded the motion of the robotic arm, and then once you have record you can use it for the controlling the motion of the arms. Okay, that is for controlling the motion. So you record the motion. And second one is program article transfer. And second one, he developed a basically a robot, and that he has used for that program article transfer. He did not mention that it is robot. He mentioned that this machine name is program article transfer. What is the objective of using that program article transfer? That is, there was a machine that was the program. Okay, and that program is used to transfer the article from one place to another place. That is also known as part handling. Okay. Okay, next then here comes another person, Joseph Egelberger. Okay, he was a graduate from the Columbia University in physics, and he was working with the control system for the jet engine. Okay, in the Columbia University. So around 1956, this George C. Devol met with Joseph Egelberger, and then this Joseph was very fascinated about the robotics. So the robotic concept was given from George C. Devol to the Joseph, and as he was working in control system for jet engine, he developed and the idea how to popularize it, more precisely how to commercialize it. That means how to produce robot in huge numbers. Okay, so around 1962, along with the George C. Devol and Joseph Egelberger, started a company. Company name was Unimation Inclusive, and Joseph as a president of that company, and they produced the first robot with name Unimate. Okay, so here you see first movie on the robot. It was around 1930. The first movie was The Complete Metropolis. Okay, next, now you know the all this movie. Many of you have seen these movies: Ex Machina, Robot 2.0, Robot. Okay, these are the examples we have seen in the form of movies. Particularly, I would like to mention Real Steel. Okay, so if you have not seen, you will see what happens in Real Steel. There was control system and voice command system was there, and even in that robot, actually, so once the control system was not working, then this hero used the motion system. It means the robot can read the motion of the person, and in that fight he fought and won the fight. Okay, next, now this one you will see Avengers, that is a Age of Ultron. Actually, we can think this artificial intelligence rather than robot. But what is the use of artificial intelligence? So artificial intelligence is used to control the robotic arms. Okay, like all the space suits went to blast, went to use some command, when all the Iron Man, especially Iron Man, is using the AI along with the robotic arm. AI is used to control the uh, various command, give the various command and control the movements of the arm. Okay, next. So I don't know you know this or not, but have you ever thought that is Jarvis? The full form of Jarvis is just a rather very intelligent system. So that is AI, artificial intelligence, but that is used to control the, again AI is used to control the robotic arm. But yeah, Jarvis is more advanced than common AI because he was that Jarvis was able to do multiple function in the sense power, movement, location, target, and even Jarvis can take on decision without human interruption. So definition of an industrial robot can be given by an automatically controlled programmable multi-purpose manipulator programmable in the three or more axes, which may be either fixed in place or mobile for use in industrial automation applications. See, this first is that it should be automatically and automatically controlled. Okay, then programmable, we can program it. Then multi-purpose manipulator programmable in three or more axes. So manipulator should be in three or more axes, which may be either fixed, robot can be either fixed or in a place, or mobile, that can be mobile. Okay, for using industrial automation applications. That definition was given by industrial robot as defined in ISO, International Organization for Standardization, published by publication number 8373 standard. Okay, so next, now you see ISO 8373 standard where, okay, so here you see this ISO 8373 standard, and in robotic devices we will see in next slide. Industrial robot that is defined by automatic controlled reprogrammable multi-purpose manipulator programmable in three or more axes, which can be either fixed or mobile for using industrial applications. That was given in the 8373 ISO 8373 publication that was published in 2012. In common terms, robot an automatically operated machine that replaces human effort. So now, so can we think anything we can use to replace the human effort is a robot? Answer is no. As we saw in the definition that a robot should be programmable, there should be manipulator. Okay, manipulator should be programmable three or more axes, and it can be mobile or stationary. So all the criteria should be followed to categorize under a robot definition. We can replace the hazardous and uncomfortable work environment, like if you have any manufacturing shop where painting is done, then uh, spray painting, or like, since as you know paint is harmful to the human health, if so for that purpose we replace human by the robot. And again there are mines, okay, there are some inspection like sewer, gas pipeline, water pipeline. We cannot send the man directly, so we can use a robot for inspection purposes. Okay, then consistently and repetitive task. Okay, consistently and repetitive, does it means, so like loading and unloading, this can be example of loading and unloading. So loading and unloading, you are picking part from here and putting it here, and putting, like this one is repetitive task, so we can replace that type of task. We can replace human to perform that task, because this one is tiring, part can be heavy, and so it is not easy for human to perform efficiently, so we can replace. Then robots are reprogrammable, that means we can program a single robot for different variety of the task. We can program the robot for various types, as like painting, spraying, cutting, drilling. This type of task can be reprogrammed for in a single robot. Okay, again robots are controlled by the computer, so it is most suitable for CIM, where computer is used for all the information in the manufacturing setup. Okay, so before going to this, let me discuss Asimov famous three law of robotics. So first law is robot may not injure a human being, or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. It means first, robot should not harm to any human being, or it does not allow to harm human to robot. Okay. Second law states that the robot must obey the orders given it by human. It means robot should follow the orders by human being, except where such orders would conflict with the first law. Okay, it means if the first law is not conflicting, it means human is not trying to harm, then it will follow the. If it is conflicting the first law, then only first law priority, first law will be followed. Okay, then third law is a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law. Okay, in third law it states that if this one is, it should not harm, or it does not allow to human to harm, then second law it should follow the order, and in third law robot should protect its own existence. It means as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or two, it means robot should protect its existence, but it should not conflict with first one. It means it should not allow to human to harm, or it should follow the order given to it. If there is confliction, the hierarchy follows. It means if first, okay, so this one is superior first prime concept, and if this not is violated, then this law comes, and if this one is also not violated, then third law comes. Okay, if there is any confliction, first this law should follow. Okay, now So I will discuss robot anatomy and related to in next video. So before that, I would like to discuss more about the difference between NC system and robots. As you know, NC system was designed for the various cutting operations, okay, but at mass level. But robots are, we can say, more advanced than on just the NC system or CNC system. CNC system, we can perform limited tasks like cutting, drilling, milling, contour or profile operations. But in the robot, we can do all those things along with the part handling, transferring, picking, assembling. These operations, even spraying, painting, can be done in the robots. Okay. Second one is the in the difference in the programming. For ANSYS system, you have to program it in the FANUC series, as we have discussed in the uh, ANSYS programming. But in robotics, we can teach them a very simple programming, and this one is very easy to understand. Once you teach a common man, he or she can teach control the robots. So programming in robotics very easy. And third is the application areas. Robots are used in wide areas, whereas ANSYS system is limited to the machining operations. Okay. And we can also discuss about the axis, as we can have more than 3 axes in the robotics. Generally in NC system 3 axes are sufficient, but for the robotics, industrial robots, more than 5 or 6 axes are required to do the specific task. Okay, with this I would like to finish my lecture here. So in next chapter, next video, I will discuss the other points. Okay, see you in next video. Thank you.